A very good morning to one and all. Today we'll start with our lecture number 14, module 2, part 6. In this lecture we are going to the concept channel coding theorem and channel capacity theorem. Previous lecture we discussed about the mechanism of mutual information concept and channel capacity. So how the channel capacity can be measured in terms of the mutual information? We are seeing in the form of mathematical equation. So I max is equal to x of I into y of j. So this will be measuring mutual information. So C is equal to, and its unit is the bits per second. Today we will going to the concept of channel coding and channel capacity theorem. Now if you notice, after source coding, the analog information of a discrete memoryless source are mapped, converted into binary signal. So suppose we have a device given to this, then this binary data can be sent over a channel. So this is a channel, this is one device where we give the binary sequence. So your binary message, suppose if you transmit the binary message 0 11 0 1, this is my binary message which is transmitted over a channel from this device, and we have received at the receiver side. So at here position we give a received message, okay, and at the output of the receiver we can get a reconstructed message. So whenever we transmit a data, for example, consider the binary string 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 1. This is my transmitted message, okay, and after 0 1 1 0 1, so this is my, you can say that this is my received message. So if you observe, the transmitted message is not equal to the received message because there is a error will be occur at bit position. So this is then we called as a bit error, okay. So whenever we transmit the data from a channel, that time we can say that this bit error will be occur. So bit, how can remove this bit error is depending upon the method. So the basic reason to occur the error in this is a noise. So bit error, the reason to occur the bit error, that is a noise. So what is the source of this bit error? That is the reason of noise. So how can protect in anyone to avoid this error, so that the transmission and reception or a digital communication of binary data will be as less extent to as minimal as possible. So how can optimize? So this is a very big challenge, how to optimize or remove this noise or that bit error. So whenever the data is transmitted over a channel, that time noise will be added and transmitted message is not equal to the your received message. So bit error will be occur. So we need to effort to correct an error correct will be. So we have required some method to optimize or to remove this bit error. So to best practice to possible, we can consider one example another how to this remove this error. So we can see this is again 0 1 1 0 0 1. This is my transmitted message. This is my transmitted message, and we can represent a 1 bit into 3 times. So we can add more number of bits. So that is called as a redundancy. So we can add more number of bits. What is the method to remove this? So we add redundancy. So this is my actually transmitted bit or transmitted message. Okay, and that time we add number of extra bits, and when we transmit it over a channel, due to error the bit position will be changed, means 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. So we can see whenever we transmit it over a channel, so each and every time you observe when it transmitted message, when add extra bits, that time the bit position when transmitted over a channel, transmitted message over a channel, so error will be occur for here, here and here. So the output will be like this. So 0 as it is 0. So the decision is basically we can take output on the basis of majority to the decision rule. So maximum number of the bits will be present in a group, that time we taken as an output. So 0, here majority is 0, again the majority of 2 1, so the output is 1. So again the majority of 2. Here we simply see that whenever the majority of ones, when add extra number of bits, an error will be occur, that time the majority which is to be present, that time the output will be represented at the receiver. So here again 0, again here is a 0, again there is a 1. So number of this rule will be defined, this output of the transmitter, so is basically on the basis of the majority of the decision. So this is our received message, or we can say it is the received message. So how to avoid a error? So in this, here the bit error will be occur. So how this bit error will be removed? So we can add extra number of bits. So this method is called as a channel coding. So this is done to add extra number of bits in your channel, that is called as channel coding. So this is done at the transmitter side by the channel encoder, at the receiver side to reconstruct its original format. It is called as a channel decoder. So this is your transmitter side and this is your receiver side. So this is done at this. So the process introduces systematic redundancy to enable detection and correction error over a channel. That process is called as your channel coding. So we can write down the definition of what is meant by channel coding. So channel coding. So it is a process introduce systematic redundancy to enable and correction of a error over a channel is termed as channel coding. So simply we add some extra bits, that is called as a redundancy bit, in systematic way. So it is possible to find out the error and this error will be corrected with the help of the channel coding method. So that is called as a channel coding. So this is the called as a channel coding. And what is meant by, there are the two main objective of channel coding theorem. First one is a mapping. So what is meant by mapping? So mapping is nothing but we can say that incoming data sequence into channel input sequence. So that is the first method, means incoming data from the binary source, incoming data sequence, incoming data sequence is mapped sequence into a channel input sequence. That is the first one. So we can add a extra bits. This is done by the mapping by the at the transmitter side by the channel encoder. And second function, that is the inverse mapping. Inverse mapping, we can say that this is the second objective of channel coding theorem, that the channel output sequence into output data sequence. So this is a two objective of channel coding theorem. So this is a two objective or two purpose of a channel coding theorem. So channel coding theorem is defined to mapping and inverse mapping. Mapping is done to the channel encoder at the receiver side, transmitter side, and inverse mapping is done at the receiver side by the channel decoder. So in the output sequence, the final target with the overall, the effect of the noise should be minimized, and the mapping done through the transmitter with the help of encoder, whereas the inverse mapping is done at a decoder at the receiver side. Now let us consider Shannon channel coding theorem, which is also called as Shannon limiting theorem. So first theorem in channel coding, we can say that, let us consider delta S is a source symbol with entropy is equal to delta S with source symbol rate, that is Ts, and similarly the channel capacity is given by C, and channel rate, channel time in which it will be generate the symbol, that is Tc. So which can be represented, so information rate, that is capital R. So we can say that delta H S is equal to divided by T of S is less than or equal to channel rate by this equation. So we can refine in terms of R is equal to or less than equal to C. So information rate, that is R, is always less than equal to the channel capacity. So this is the first theorem which is explained in channel coding theorem. Or similarly we can say that this inverse mapping or second negative statement, this is called as positive statement for the Shannon channel coding theorem. And second theorem is say that R is greater than is C. This is called as a negative statement, where the transmission is not possible. So transmission is possible if and only if R, information rate is less than the channel capacity, then the transmission of the information is possible with a optimized error. This is not possible. This is a negative statement. And we also define the channel capacity theorem. Channel capacity theorem. So channel capacity theorem, which is first defined by the Shannon channel capacity theorem, a discrete memoryless source with noiseless. So this discrete memoryless source with noiseless channel, that time we define this is a channel capacity is equal to less than or equal to or greater than or equal to the information rate. So this is a statement which is for the noiseless channel, and we can say that the transmission or a noiseless channel with the possible information rate is equal to less than or equal to the channel capacity. And similarly we also define the second theorem for the channel capacity, which is called as Shannon-Hartley channel capacity theorem for the when the noise is present. So when the noise is present, Shannon-Hartley channel capacity theorem. In this theorem we can consider a additive white Gaussian noise is present. So noise will be present, additive white Gaussian noise, that is simply we can write AWGN. So the channel capacity according to the Shannon-Hartley theorem, we can say that is equal to directly in mathematical format C is equal to B log to the base 2 1 plus Sn, the symbol or unit bits per second. So C is equal to nothing but the B is the bandwidth, C is the channel capacity of noisy channel, S is the signal power, N is the noise power, and unit to measure the channel capacity is bits per second. So we can write B is the bandwidth of a noisy channel, and S is a signal power, and N is a noise power, and C is a channel capacity. So we can write the equation according to Shannon-Hartley theorem for the channel capacity. When the noise will be present, basically we have considered the additive white Gaussian noise. So C is equal to B log to the base 2 1 upon S plus N, so bit per second. So in this terms we have defined the channel capacity. So we can explain the terms related to the channel capacity. There are two theorems. Then channel coding, what is the need of the channel coding, then how the extra bits will be added. That process is nothing but the channel coding. So we can stop here. We can meet in next lecture. Thank you.